Jonno said in the final piece, if Carlsberg did comebacks, they'd come to the Diva.
Yeah, they seem to be the comeback kings of comebacks, like you said, especially at home. And the one thing I say about the group is they've got guts. Obviously, the other side of the coin has been 2-0 down, and we've talked about this God knows how many times now, haven't we, where you can't keep giving the opposition goals the way we've done. My personal opinion, we've all seen it different, was probably that it was a fair result in terms of chances created. I think Darlington played very well. I think they've obviously watched our game back from last week, made us goal.
Their eight was outstanding.
Yeah, he's a grafter, Will. Gets around the pitch, they pressed us well. Whereas I think if you watched the game last week, they give us too much time, allowed us to pick our passes, basically get our heads up and drop things in behind. I think they forced us a few times, especially in the first half, where we wanted to play that pass, but it was rushed, it being too straight and just running through to the keeper. So I think they've done the homework on us really well, to be fair to them. But at the same time, I think, and we just talked about it there, we two mistakes for our goals. You know, obviously a lad being my marks scores the header. You hold your hands up, Paddy held his hands up, said, yeah, it's my man. And then your goalie spills one. But he had an unbelievable first half. That doesn't make it okay. It's not all right that you've made a mistake, but the fact of the matter is the basic elementary mistakes that we've made for our goals. And they'll pick the bones out of theirs and probably see the same thing, especially with a corner. But with the way they mark on sets with the zonals, you've always got an opportunity if you get a good run and the ball's decent enough to get the leap, and Kev did that. So I think our persistence, I think our tempo and our intensity the last 25 minutes put them on the back foot where they couldn't get out. Obviously, we was always going to be open to the counter naturally because of bodies being squeezed up the pitch a little bit more. But I thought it was a fair result. I think it's just disappointing the fact that when you seem to have done what you've done last week and kept the opposition away from goal and then concede them type of goals, especially at home, it's disappointing that.
In all honesty, when 82, 83 minutes, did you expect to get 2 goals and get back into the game? In all honesty,
100%. 100%, because you can only use what we've already done this season. As if that was the first time, then obviously I'd be saying no. But we do it every week. You know, we finish games stronger than any team in this league. Every single team, especially at home. I can't say that away from home because we've not won a game. But in the last 15, 20 minutes of games, we tend to take the game away from opposition. Whether that be, I've always said it, our pitch is huge. So teams will stay with you for 45, 50, 60 minutes. And then I think almost that some players get lost on it. It's that big. They think it's going out one side and it stays in. And I think that helps us. I think the fact that we train on here on a Tuesday and a Thursday night helps us as well, because we know, I know it sounds like small details, but we understand the dimensions of our pitch. So when the ball's getting pulled out to Kev, Josh has made that run to the back post, knowing that's going to stay in, it allows him to play that pass. So yeah, I did, 100%, promise you. I did believe we were still in the game. It's just the intensity. Generally, I have a feel. I didn't think it was as good as last week, but I don't think we were poor. I think we created enough chances, so we've got something out of it. But for a home game, it was far too open. They played as if they were the home team at times. I said in my piece with Shane the other night, and I think Alan said in his piece as well, that the big goals. I knew that, 2 top scorers in the league. So that was always going to happen. It's just, that's not going to keep happening. At some point, you're going to, if you're 2-0 down against a good side, you're going to get beat 2-0. And you could see the lads were devastated at the end. They were devastated. They probably didn't feel they deserved that, but our persistence showed that we deserved it in the end.
When Roberts had scored the goal, you could see their heads going, even though they had 2 experienced central defenders there, and Laura and the other lad as well. I mean, their heads went, and so you thought, hey, it's a game on here.
Yeah, they're a good side, full of experience. Will Hatfield, Jake Lawler, Jake Cooper, who we know well. They've got some terrific players, lads that have been about, played at good levels, understand the game, and you spot on. I think they were almost. The crowd plays a big part here. So when we scored 2-1, it was unbelievable, weren't it, the noise? And I think the opposition feel that too. We were all gutted we didn't win the game in the end. Not that we deserved to win it after we scored the equaliser, but I think with the crowd behind us and with the intensity that we was playing at the time, and the quality of the balls we were putting in, we felt we could have gone and win the league. I think so. Win the game. And we were a little bit gutted in the end, but I do believe I'm not trying to build this interview up into something. It's not. I think we deserved a point just because of the sheer amount of chances we created ourselves during the game.
Kev Roberts outstanding in the Chester side, and I thought Jolly had another good game for you as well.
Yeah, I think Kev was unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Started Charlie up top on the right of a 3. At half time we flipped him onto the left because everything was a bit predictable with the 2 righties on the left coming inside. So we flipped that, and straight away from kick-off we got Charlie on the on the outside of him, and again with Josh coming on, just poses him a little bit of a different problem with players that can go out on the outside. But George, I think it was Glenno this week that put one in behind for Charlie's run. Exact mirror image of last week, stuff we work on, which is always good to see, but he just couldn't get hold of it. But a great run. He offers you something totally different with his direct running. But I thought there was some good performance. I thought George Glennon captain dragged us along again, back end of the game. But there were lads as well, they knew the art, put in below par performances. You can't play the way you did last week and then perform the way you've done this week. And that's the reason at this moment in time where we are in the table in terms of being mid-table, because we're all putting in inconsistent performances, and we've got to start backing that up with doing the basics right first and foremost, and then it allows you to play at your best.
Certainly exciting stuff for the largest crowd of the season.
Yeah, it's almost like we'd written a script at the end with the floating supporters being back in, and obviously a great following from Darlo. I always we're an exciting team. As I said, we score a hell of a lot of goals. We always have done. Unfortunately, our against column this season has been diabolical. It's not good enough. Defensively, we've not been good enough. I don't think defensively was too much of an issue today. It was more the two mistakes that have cost us. But I think when you've got a lad like Jake Cassidy, a Wiley, who I shouldn't say,
bully.
Yeah, he did. He played on the younger centre back and pushed him around a little bit. But you get better from that as a centre back. You know that. The longer you play, the more you play against them type of players, you learn from your mistakes. So I think it'll stand Matty in good stead. But I think the lad next to him, Kev, was absolutely brilliant. He's a Rolls Royce. Getting up and down, covering for when the central midfielders go, when one of the centre backs go. He's dominant. He's just a top all-round player. So yeah, really pleased with some individual performance, but I think in other parts of the game we were well below par.
Jonno, thanks for talking.
Thank you.